Меня зовут Сергей.
My name is Sergei,
Я бывший
and I'm a
наркоман.
former drug
Мне
addict.
27 лет,
By the
и
age of
меня запрещали
27, I had 6
судимости.
times been arrested.
Родился в
I
Новокузнецке
was born
в
in
обычной
Novokuznetsk
семье.
in a normal
Отец и
family.
мать всю жизнь
My
работали
father
на
and mother
заводе.
worked their whole
Папа
life in a
любил
factory.
выпить, но без
My father liked to
осложнений
drink,
меня не гонял.
but didn't have serious problems because of this. He didn't bother me much.
А это
And these
мои
are my
друзья.
friends. We started to
В их
hang out
компанию
when I
попал,
was
когда
12
мне
years
было
old.
12 лет.
We all
Все
lived
жили
close
по
to each other
соседству.
and started
За углом
smoking
курили
cigarettes.
вместе.
We also
Марихуану
tried marijuana
попробовали
and
и
started to
водку
drink
начали
vodka.
пить. Было весело,
At first it
но
was
денег
fun,
не
but
хватало.
then we ran
По
out of
вечерам
money.
выцепляли
In the
пьяных
evenings we
прохожих
searched
на
for drunk
улице,
people
избивали
outside,
и отбирали
those that we
все
could
ценное.
rob.
Деньги,
We would
золото,
beat them,
хорошие
steal their
вещи.
money, gold and other valuables. This
А
is
это
Luba.
Люба.
We were
Мы
neighbors.
жили в
Our
соседних
apartment
домах,
buildings were
учились в
close to
одной
each other.
школе.
I
Я
was
старше
2 years
был
older,
на
but
2
we went
года.
to the same
Такая
school.
была
She was very
симпатичная.
cute, and
Я
I
ее
noticed her
сразу
right away.
заметил.
She finished school,
Закончила
then trade
школу,
school, and we
потом
started to live
училище.
together.
Жить стали
4
вместе.
years later, she gave
Через
birth to
4
our
года
daughter
родилась
Katya.
Катенька.
At this time, I went to prison for the
Это я в
first
первый
time.
раз попал за решетку.
I needed
Нужны
money
были деньги
for
на травку, и я
marijuana, and I
порезал
stabbed a
ножом
drunk
пьяного
man.
мужика.
I wanted to
Хотел
steal
его
his cell
телефон
phone,
забрать, а он
and he
орать
started to
начал.
scream. And these are my
Мои
fellow inmates,
сокамерники,
also drug
наркоманы.
addicts.
Они-то мне и рассказали.
They told me that marijuana is nothing, you need to try real drugs. This is cool. And I got excited, and I thought to myself, I'll definitely try heroin. This is my buddy Nick. I met him at work that my father found for me after my first sentence in prison. Nick was a desperate drug addict and introduced me to heroin. I was making pretty good money at the factory, bought expensive things, and Luba started to shoot heroin with me. We didn't have enough money for drugs. I started selling things. We sold everything and ended up in debt. I started stealing again. Was again sentenced to prison. While in prison, I received a telegram that Luba died from an overdose. Katya was left to be raised by my parents. Then I thought to myself, it's enough, I will not do drugs anymore. Heroin is the reason for all my problems. But as soon as I was released from prison, I started doing drugs again. I stole money from home. Didn't even care if I stole money that was set aside to buy milk for my daughter. And soon my parents rejected me and kicked me out of the home. Nothing could stop me from doing drugs. Not the death of Luba, not even my little daughter. I thought that I'm finished totally. I will either sit in prison all my life or die in the basement of an abandoned building. This is Luba's grave. I also could have been buried there. This is the bus. I'm going on the bus to get help. One time my neighbor came to me and said that her son went to receive help at the Teen Challenge Center. Now he doesn't shoot up anymore and lives a normal life. I decided to go, and I found out that many drug addicts lived in this rehab center. Some came themselves, others were brought by their family members who had no more hope. The guys right away received me, gave me a place to eat at the table with them and a place to sleep. We lived in the room with 4 people. There was a bed and a small dresser. We didn't need anything else. We kept the room clean ourselves. I worked in the kitchen and also learned the trade of doing renovations. My memory returned. When I was doing drugs, I had no time to learn new things. The Teen Challenge has its own soccer team. I'm not a great fan of soccer, but when it was warm and everyone was playing, I also played defense. I spent 1.5 years here. The first month was very hard, but afterwards I got used to it. When there's a group of people exactly like yourself, when everyone understands you, supports you, and when everyone has the same problem, it's easier to overcome and forget about drugs. Here they don't give medicine. I now understand that the Lord helped me. He gave me a second chance for a new life. I read my Bible very much, and I repented before God, my family, and friends. I asked for forgiveness, and now I live a normal life. Now everything is going very well for me. I returned to the job where I worked before, where everyone remembered me as a drug addict. After 1.5 years at Teen Challenge, there was a great result. I didn't return to my past. They say that there is no such thing as a reformed drug addict, but there is. The very thought of drinking or doing drugs didn't come to me anymore. I don't want to have any part of it. My daughter is growing. She doesn't remember her mother. I'm a mother and a father to her. I hope that I will be a good father. I was a drug addict for 8 years, but I never want my daughter to remember me that way.